Morning, folks. I'm early. Can't wait any longer. I'm so excited to get soldering. So excited. Cheers, everyone. Morning, I guess. It's morning here. All morning, it's morning. How is everyone doing? Yes, good evening to all of those of you in the past. Living in the past. Yes, well, 2 p.m. I am Space Cadet today, and absolute Space Cadet. I actually had a good night's sleep. First good night's sleep in a while, but I didn't want to wake up. Like I was in such a deep sleep when my alarm went off that I couldn't even work out what the noise was. So that was pretty funny. And I woke up, stop already with my stream's starting in 30 minutes apparently. So, I'm still waking up. Had a mildly cold shower, or mildly warm, to try to wake myself up this morning. Even smacked myself in the face, but no. I could lay down on the floor right now and go to sleep. Yes, I need coffee, but it's not helping. I should have done a double shot this morning. I'm going to have to go through quite a few of them today. All day. So, how's everyone been? How's everyone's week been? Been good? My week's been interesting. It's been okay. We don't have PM here. Really? You just go morning and then what? What happens? What happens after morning, Johnny? Had a nice brisk 2 hours on the ski hill. Oh, jealous, Bruce. So tell me, do you ski in your lumberjack outfit? Just curious. Okay, let me quickly do roll call before the list gets too long. Okay, so Andy Mouse was here really early this morning. Good morning, Andy Mouse, if you're still around. Rat Madness. We've got a mouse and a rat. First two names on the list. That's a bit crazy. Embedded Hobbyist, hello. Marius is here early. What's going on, mate? Christopher White, hello. Pratik, hi. Chris, hello. What a bit of a mind flip. Why is your mind flipping? What happened? Hello, Dave. Hello, Gary. Sven, Joe. Yes, today's stream is brought to you by caffeine. Peter, hi. Adam, you should go to sleep, Adam. 13-hour workday sucks. Michael, hello. James, Henrik, Paul, Bruce, the lumberjack. Not gonna let that one go ever. Johnny, Mr. Johnny Astley. Andy, hello. Rob, good morning. You're here early again. 2 weeks in a row. What's happened? You're on the couch? Hope you're on the couch, relaxing. Helmut, good morning. Daryl, hello. Tim. Crazy Roops. Andy. Marius. DeWitt. Marinus. Sorry, I apologise. There's an N in there. Font's really small on the screen. Michael, hi. David. Rota. John Meeking, hello. Peter S. Hello, how is things going in Colorado in the past? Hope everything is good in Colorado. You don't hear much about Colorado on the news. You hear lots of other things on the news. Hello, Jay. Hello, Fred. Hello, Alex. Tiny LED Matrix. For those that don't know, that's Alex. Hello, Paul. Just say hi to James. I think I did. McDonald, I don't know, can't remember. Bredan, hello. Bredan did a really funny tweet yesterday when I posted my stream details. I might have to find it and post it. It was pretty cool. Hello, Gord. Oh, it's coffee, not beer. That's why. If that was beer, would be in big trouble. Big trouble. Oh, it jumped. Fognology, hello. You missed the prior line from Rocky Horror Picture Show Time Warp. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Hello, Ray. Hello, Kane. Hello, Paul the Curtains. Ordered a Prusa Mini yesterday to go with my other Prusa. Okay. Yay for the Mini. Boo for the modded yet Mark III S so much it's broken. I've modded mine a lot. Or not modded, but I've update. Oh, really? You should be able to fix it. Oh, poor Mark III S. The Mini's going to be lonely without a friend. Hello, Alan. Good morning. Stephen Ludgate. Hello. I hope you are well. I hope your family is well. Hello, Graham. Hello, Dave Darko. Hello, Mike Rapezzi. Hello, Julian. David. And I think I got everyone. I hope I got everyone. If I missed anyone, I'm really sorry. I hope you are all doing well and are safe. Hey, say Alex did a cool thing. Yeah, is that the resin thing? Yeah? Yeah, I tweeted that out. Hang on, for those that haven't seen it, let me switch now. So, Alex, Tiny LED Matrix, did his first, I think it was your first resin. I think you said yesterday, did something with resin. Can't remember if you said it was your first one. Anyway, he's making like a replica of these LED digits, and he did his own resin, and it looks really cool. And he mentions it's not as dark as the original, but yeah, I think it looks great. Hello, David Boyd. Attempting to write a micro SD card adapter to a tiny 85 to see if I can access the micro SD content and maybe run programs from the SD. Should be able to through SPI if there's enough memory. You just like use an SPI micro SD adapter and you should be able to just use SPI to talk to it. Yeah, these look great, Alex. Really nice. But does it work? That's the question. Does it work? I hope it works. That's very cool. Thanks for reminding me, Dave Darko. That's very cool. Anyone else got anything cool I can show? Yeah, they're very retro, very nice. I'd love to see your setup, Alex, of what you're doing. Like, have you done a video or something? Like, I know you don't do videos, but have you done something to show you the process of you doing the resin? Like, that was really very, like, a very sharp edge and, like, very defined. So, yeah, I'm just curious how you did it. I know you might have added some extra pictures later. There wasn't anything yesterday when I looked. I think it was yesterday. Yeah. Shop. Yeah, unexpected maker. I say a lot because just the way I talk, and it was just a quinky dink. Does everyone know what a quinky dink is? A coincidence that, yeah, my unexpected maker abbreviated is ARM, so it's the ARM shop, not to be confused with the ARM shop. Oh boy. Okay. So speaking of the ARM shop, for those that saw my video, we'll post details once everything's working. Oh, it's no fun doing it just once it's working. We want to see how the sausage is made. Hey Yumbo Prime. What are those resin things? They are little digits. They're little, they're alphanumeric, aren't they? Or they just 7-segmenty things. Hey Simon. Could take some weeks, that's okay. Now stealing your word. Quinky Dink's not your word, it's universal. You didn't make it up. Yeah, the 7-segment. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was 7 or alpha. Squiff explanation. I don't know what that means. Okay, so speaking of my shop, I released a video the other day showing my first panel of my tiny, that's not them. Let me switch cameras, of my new USB-C Tiny Picos. Please tell me am I on autofocus? I hope I'm on autofocus. That's my USB-C on the Tiny Pico. Yay! So this is the first panel I pulled apart. All the boards work. They've all been tested and they've all been cleaned. They're ready to go in bags. And so I mentioned that I was going to get the store up and stuff soon, and to just leave a comment in the video if you're interested in grabbing one. And well, so many people commented that I quickly rushed, and I did set up my landing page. And wow, I've now lost the page I had open. Yep, well done, Sion. That was really clever. Cleaning my desktop to the point of cleaning it to oblivion. Anyway, so now, just letting everyone know that you can go to the ARM shop and go on, you can't buy them yet, but go on a wait list. So you can choose like 2-pack, and then you can put your details in and sign up for the wait list. So everything's ready to go. The only thing I'm waiting on right now are I'll just post that. I'm going to post the link. Hey Gustus. Hey Cable Tie. The only thing I'm waiting on now actually is my cards to be printed. So they're being printed at the moment. That's what they look like. So it's exactly the same as the current Micro B Tiny Pico, but it's got the USB-C on it. So the board's a little bit longer. It's 35mm instead of 32. Right now, they're only going to be via me. I'm just doing a short run at the moment. Going to see how they go. I think there's already more people on the wait list than what... I've built 100 so far. I can only build 200 to start with. That's all the PCBs I've got. I've built 100, and I think I've got more people on the wait list than that 100. I'll see how they go. I will eventually ramp up production, but maybe not straight away. But I sell to the US. I mean, sure, it's more convenient for you guys to get in the US to get from Adafruit. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Do you have some of those with the jack polarity flipped? The jack polarity. You mean so they work in Australia because we're upside down? Was that the joke there? Shipping is expensive to the US. Yeah, it is. Look, hopefully shipping rates will come down at some point once the world gets on top of this virus. But yeah, it's not happening anytime soon. So I have officially stopped selling to the UK for the moment. Yeah, really sad. I've stopped UK on my Tindy and my Unexpected Maker store, basically because I don't know what'll happen. Like if someone buys from me and I don't collect the VAT and I ship it, I don't know what's going to happen to the product when it gets to customs in the UK, and if I don't want the product to get seized, and I don't want to get blacklisted. And I've tried, I think I mentioned, was it last week? I can't remember when. I've tried applying now. Like I tried 3 times to fill in their forms to register to do. I wasn't going to, but I thought I'd try. And all 3 times it takes me to a dead end. And when I contact them and say, hey, I can't fill in this form, it takes me to a section where I can't continue. And they say, no, it doesn't. It works. And I do it again and it doesn't work. So, interestingly, Tindy, I don't even know how this is going to work. So Tindy have not sorted theirs out yet. So when you buy from Tindy, you buy directly from them. And it's kind of like a drop shipping situation where you buy from them and I drop ship it to you. And then I get paid from them, right? So technically they're selling it, so they have to collect the VAT themselves, not me. But it's interesting because it's being drop shipped and they're not involved with the shipping or the commercial invoice that's on the item, however that works, I don't understand how that's going to work, because they will collect the VAT, they'll have to collect the VAT, and they will have to, hey Sebastian, yes, you made it. They'll have to then remit the VAT, but the package itself, I don't have any of the VAT information on it. So how would customs know? Anyway, it's going to be interesting, but they still haven't organised that. Every 2 weeks I ping them. They're still looking into it. And it'll be the same thing with the EU, but that comes in July. That kicks in. So right now I can still send to the EU. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work, Chris. Yeah, because they haven't registered yet. They haven't got all their stuff happening yet. But when they do, if they do and when they do, I'll be able to sell to the UK again via Tindy. And the same thing will happen in the EU when it switches over. Even if I don't buy from the EU myself, sell to the EU myself from my store, I'll be able to do it via Tindy because they'll have to register anyway. Rob says, UK government website not working correctly. You amaze me. I think insert any government. It's like a blank government website not working correctly. You amaze me. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hey, JTax. What did I miss? I'll be a guinea pig in the UKC and I'll cover the costs of any potential additional charges. Yeah, what I don't want to do though is send something to the UK, them see that I haven't registered and I didn't do it properly, and then I don't want to get blacklisted or, get a mark against my name and then have issues in the future, if that makes sense. It's not about what happens to the product or whether the customer gets it or not. I don't know what customs, whatever the department is in the UK, what they will do to sellers who are trying to circumvent, if that makes sense. When did you do that though, Aaron? When did you buy the product and customs did that? Because as of 1st of January, they won't do that anymore. Like they won't claim it off the person. Last week. Okay, interesting. So maybe it's a transition period. Do they really, Julian? See, that's what I'm worried about. Julian says they blacklist eBay sellers. I don't want to get blacklisted. Yeah, the USB-C connector is massive, isn't it? Like, it really adds a lot of size to the board. Like, comparatively. Where's a micro B one? Anywhere. Boards everywhere and never a board to be found. Oh my god, my desk is such a mess. Nope. I'm so glad you guys can't see my desk. Okay, anyway, yeah, the micro B is... I must have on the back of here I've got an old one. Yeah, the micro B is so much smaller. Like width and length. So yeah, that's the difference in length of the board. I've actually updated my Tiny Pico website as well, and it lists them, it shows them both on there, mentions them both. So that's pretty exciting. You're missing the subtext. What did I miss? Hello, Ian. Scott Johnson. So I will send you import-export Bretic's email address. That'll helpful and responsive to me. Okay, that'd be great. Thank you. Because, just emailing the link on the website was useless. Can it take 20 volts? No, there's no PD on there. There's no power distribution stuff. It's just 5 volts. It'll negotiate 5 volts. No matter what you plug into it. You can plug a 20 volt source in via USB-C, but it'll negotiate down to 5 volts. Intentionally. Like I don't... If I were to add power control stuff to this, the board would be considerably bigger. And from the video, I mentioned that because I did the mouse bite thing on the bottom, it mostly works. I was hoping that it would be a cleaner break off. Can we get closer? Not really. Let's see how close I can get and focus still. I think that's too close. Is that going to focus? No. Come on. No, it doesn't want to focus. Okay, well, yeah, there's mouse bites at the end here. Has everyone seen the board? Let me show you the board quickly. So I needed an overhang for the USB connector so it doesn't touch the antenna and the APA, and so I came up with this design where there is mouse bites here and then a regular V-score. And I got to tell you, I've always been worried about the strength of mouse bites. If I was to snap this board now, which I'm not going to do because then I can't pick and place it, the V-score snaps and the mouse bites don't even move. Like these mouse bites, even though I think there are seven holes along there, boy, are these things still really strong, incredible. So I'm quite impressed. But yeah, I did that, and so when you break them away, the idea is that you still get a bit of an overhang for the USB. For those people that want to mount these, quite a few people mount them in cases. So to be able to mount them and have the USB connector somewhat go into a slot. But depending on how I break them, it's, some of them leave a little bit more debris than the others. It's not nasty debris. I'm quite happy shipping them like this. They're very clean, but they do stick out a bit further than I thought. But they can be sanded down by someone if they really need to do it. So yeah, I'll put that away before I lose it. Okay, what did I miss in the chat? Will you use the Pico V302? No, I'm staying with the D4. There are several reasons. They're not compatible. The V3 and the D4 are not compatible. There are pins gone on the V3. And so they're not a drop-in replacement. Originally the V3... So the V3 itself, although it's been hacked in, but the V3 itself doesn't support external PSRAM. Not the same way the D4 does. They do have a version that's got PSRAM in it, but it's only 2 meg of PSRAM, not 4 meg of PSRAM. And yes, it has been hacked to support PSRAM, but it's not official. And so therefore it's not going to be compatible with MicroPython and a whole bunch of other stuff unless there's a whole new support done for it. So if it was a drop-in, absolutely. I actually ordered V3 chips ages ago because I was told it was a drop-in replacement, but it wasn't. Not even close to drop-in. So Mr. Who's waiting for the C3. MicroPython doesn't need greater than 2 meg, but the V3 chip doesn't work with MicroPython. So again, that would have been a problem. So yeah, I'm just saying with the D4, there's no reason not to stay with the D4. The V3 has got, their access to the PSRAM is slightly faster. They've got a fix that happens in software at the IDF level on the D4 that is in hardware on the V3. But otherwise, there's really no difference between them other than it's missing some pins that I need and no external PSRAM officially. So yeah, I'm staying with the D4. There's no reason not to. Will there be an ESP64 or 128? I don't think so. I don't know. What you can try to do for the mouse bites is kind of a moon shape inwards instead of right on the edge. I actually don't have any space. Oh, a little bit, yeah. I could. I'm not sure how. Don't know how that would break away. Drag Lord. Is that to me? Is this my full-time job? Streaming live? No, this is my full-time job. Full-time meaning I don't do anything else. Job, well, this is what I do with my time. Full-time, yes. Am I making a living out of it? No, but I'm close. If the mouse bites are too strong, you could make them narrower, fewer bytes. No, I can't, because then JLC PCB won't make them. I had a bit of a fight with them the other day, actually, about my nanos, because I'm out of nanos panels, and I'm getting more made, and they knocked my board back and said they won't make them because my mouse bite connections are too small. They need to be 4mm minimum width for the tab, and my tab is only 2 point something millimeters. And I said, well, you made it last time and it was fine, and you didn't reject it last time, and it was quite strong, you can pick a place, no problem. And they made me sign a waiver, basically, that says if they break during production, it's my responsibility. And I said, well, please take extra care not to break them, because, don't just break them on purpose. I have a Dremel, but I'm not sitting there dremeling every board. If someone needs to insert it into a slot, they can Dremel their board if they need to. I would guess that 95% of the people won't need to, so I'm not going to Dremel their boards for them, because that is a bunch of time that I could be using for something else. It can be filed. Like, it's fine. It's not a problem. All I'm saying is that I was hoping that the way I did the mouse bites, like, it's not terrible. Hang on. Let's have a look. Again, I'm not looking for a solution, folks. I won't be cleaning these edges because they don't need to be cleaned. Let's get the microscope up. We should make JavaScript a random excuse generator. Yeah, it's an inconsistency, right? They made them before, no problem. And now when I go to submit the same file again, it's exactly the same file. All I've done is I've added some holes for mounting on the stenciling thing. They now say the mouse bites are too small. Okay, so let's get it in the right spot. Oh, I'm on manual focus. Hang on. Sorry, one moment. Never get rid of my little dialog box. Go away, dialog box. Thank you. So as you can see, look, it's not terrible. And it can easily be filed back, right? Like, it mostly worked. I just, there's always going to be, let me grab the box. There's always going to be, one or two little bits that might stick out a bit further than some of the other ones. That's all. Like that little one at the top there. And I think the first one up, sticking out just a fraction further. It's hard to tell. I mean, that's clean. I've got no problem shipping it like that. And if someone needs to sand that back, they can. No problem. But yeah, I'm not doing more post-processing work. Cable tie, absolutely. It's not needed. Like, if there was a problem with the cleaning of the boards, then I would absolutely do that. But there's no problem with it. It's just that, yeah. Like, I got the holes as close as I could get. If none of them protrude far enough to... No, they don't protrude past the port. They're all fine. It's just I was hoping that they would be... The way I did the holes, I was hoping, because they do eat into the board a little bit. They eat into the board the more than is recommended, and I was hoping that would give it a little bit more space, but that's okay. That was all. Turned out I managed to fix my broken older app, bad inductor, solder. Looked like they soldered it by hand. Okay, don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Intermit Tech. It's okay. Nothing's happened on the beginning. Hello down the shed. My iron is hot enough, but solder melting and then going stodgy. What? Hey, Dustin. Hey, Quixotic Geek. Greetings from the land of wind. I used to have a when I had my animation company in a suburb called Patron. Around the corner from us, there was a Vietnamese restaurant that we used to go to a lot, and they were called New Wind. And yes, they lived up to their title. Their food lived up to their title. Hey, Catan. What am I working on? So I really need to solder these. I've got, these have been sitting here for way too long. I'm going to solder a bunch of these today because, yeah, I'm going to solder and I'm going to clean. I'll show you how I solder the screens on, and then with my jig, clean them. I need to stick tape on the back of them, and they need to get ready to go into bags because I have no more bags right now. So I'm going to do that. Also, I've been playing around with my Power Profiler kit, and it's very cool, I gotta say. It's a very cool piece of kit, and I've actually got some power debugging I wouldn't mind doing, and I thought I could do that today, maybe later once I've done some of these. I'm going to solder some of these first because they're more important. Hey Frank. But then, yeah, maybe I'll give you a look at this, and I'll stick one of my Feather S2s on there and see if we can identify why. I'm going to hot air some stuff off and see if we can identify what's taking the... So my deep sleep current on my Feather S2, it's where I expect it to be, which is about 80 or 85 microamps. The board it's optimized, but it's got a lot of extra peripherals and stuff than the Tiny Pico's got. So I was never expecting it to be at the 30 level, but I was, but I might be able to get it lower, but it'll probably take a board redesign, which is fine. But I got to identify where it's coming from. For instance, the ambient light sensor that's on here, which is this little guy here, is connected to the main LDO. So that is sinking current even when the chip is in deep sleep. And I did that intentionally because I thought it'd be very cool that you could use... I've actually got that ambient light sensor connected to IO4, which is also an RTC IO. So I thought it'd be really cool that you could, for instance, at nighttime, it could be picking up no light, and then at daytime, if it hits a threshold, it could wake up the ESP32. Might be a cool thing, but the problem is if you don't need that, then, I mean, this could be drawing microamps, I don't know. So I can take, like, rip this off and remeasure it. There's a few things I could take off maybe and see where it's taking the extra juice. But even if I don't optimize it, 85 microamps in deep sleep for this board I think is fine. It was never really designed to be the ultimate deep sleep low power board. Anyway, but that's really cool. But I think we should get some soldering started. Mr. Who 30, yeah, they're very cool. The Power Profiler Kit 2 works reliably and much, better than I thought it would. I have nothing to measure it against, so I don't know exactly how accurate it is. It measures my Tiny Pico at 23 microamps, which is, yeah, reasonable. I wanted to move to Gibraltar. Really? Aren't there just rocks there? What do you use to determine deep sleep currents? So yeah, this profiler, the Power Profiler Kit from Nordic. So I do have a current ranger, and also I've got a DMM with a really low shunt resistor in it. So, not really high shunt resistor. Anyway, whatever it is. But this device is designed to measure power, but over time, which is really cool. I'll plug it in later, and I'll show you how it works. Absolutely. But let's get some soldering done first. Hello, Jagseer. I've done something similar for my internship. I did it with a resistor and a picoscope. Got the board down to plus or minus 15 microamps with an XB module. Yeah, I much prefer using the PPK2 than the current ranger. You just plug it in and it works. You don't have to... Yeah, anyway. So, where is my jig? GDG. And I need some screens. Got lots of screens. I'll start with one screen. Let's work out where I can... Okay, this will be interesting. I'm going to need my other glasses. Hold on one sec. Why is that? Sorry about that. I seem to have left my garage door slightly ajar last night. That's okay. I actually ripped some stuff out of my garage. No, ripped out. I moved stuff out of my garage so I could get to my laser cutter and did some laser cutting yesterday. Just some simple stuff. Just worked on a new thing for my Tiny Pico test jigs. And they've even got a label now. Don't know whose suggestion that was, I can't remember, but yay. Ooh, I'll talk about test jigs in a moment. So you have new pets then. Who's got new pets? Okay, so I'm going to use my TS100 today because my other iron doesn't reach over here. I haven't used my TS100 in a while, but I'm sure it still works, but it's pretty messy around here. And I'm worried I'm going to burn something. Plug it in. How do you turn it on again? There we go. Hopefully I won't burn myself. So I'm gonna have to use my other glasses, so I'm not gonna be able to see the chat. Nobody stole. No, it was only open this much. I mean, yeah, maybe some rodents could have got in. It was a tiny amount. Yeah, no, it was it must have, on the way down, it must have hit something, maybe a cable or something that I left out, and it stopped. That's all. When is a door not a door? When it's ajar. Okay, so I can't see the chat if I use those glasses. Okay, I'm gonna do my best. So I'm sure you guys have seen this before, right? You see my jig? So, but someone mentioned to me an idea about drag soldering on it, which is clever. So, screen goes in, slide into place. Get my... Is it me or is this out of focus? It might be out of focus. Hang on. The camera doesn't seem to want to focus this morning. There we go. I put it into manual and then back into focus. Thank you. Okay. And then, so their suggestion was get some of this pen flux, the liquid stuff, not the gel stuff, right? Give it a bit of a wipe. Not sure if you can even see that. Go a bit brighter. Get the iron. And, oh, cable's caught. I don't normally do this to the TS100, so this will be interesting. And then just drag along and done. Look at that. And I can't see if there's any bridges on it because I'm using my wrong glasses, but I can now take that out and we have a soldered screen. That looks pretty cool, except maybe that first one's got a bridge. I can't see. Damn. Wrong glasses. No bridge. No bridge. Hello, James. And now all I do is get my little jig that I had prepared and turn it over, stick it on the jig and go. Yay! Oh, that's super bright for you. Hang on. So that cycles through, turn it down. That cycles through RGB. Doesn't look like RGB because of the brightness. That looks more like orange. But anyway, it's going RGB and then invert on and off. And so I can see that all the pixels work. And that's one success. That's a screen done. How cool is that? Okay, let me turn the brightness back up. So I'm going to do a few of these. So that is my process for... Okay, screens. I have so many screens. I have trays of screens. Let's just take a bunch out. How many shall we do? Hello, Colin. One down. Anyone want to guess how many are in there? I can't remember. I've been doing them as I needed them, but I need to just do a whole bunch of them. Like, I need a stockpile. so I don't have to stress when an order comes in because I haven't done them yet. One iron, 2. So I never used to drag solder on them. I used to dab like this across, which works, but it takes longer. It always looks like that's ridged. So normally I would do it over here. Yeah, so that one, it ridged that time. That's okay. That's an easy fix. As I said, I'm using my wrong glasses. If I switch my glasses, I can see properly, but then I can't see the chat. Okay. I should let it, I don't know. I'm going to say let it dry, let it cool down. So this board just keeps looping. There you go. Another one, good. Right, and then my process, just to continue the process, is that. What do I need? That and that. I get my Defluxit flux remover, and I've got a little lid of from like a post thing, in like a tube, and I put the flux stuff in, and I get a cotton bud and give it a clean. One. I normally do this at the end when I've got a whole batch of them. So this is my process making these screens. It's not time consuming at all, is it? You can see the black on the end of the cotton bud. Because these can't go in the ultrasonic cleaner. The screens can't go in the cleaner. I missed a bit. Maybe. This flux remover stuff's really cool, and it smells like orange. Right, then I've got a whole bunch of clean screens. Move that out of the way. Oh, that smell. Oh, I would so welcome that. Miko. Friends feel so far away now. What are we welcoming? No, I don't want ultrasonic and LCD. What happened to them in the cleaner? What do you mean? Ultrasonic, what happens to the screens in the cleaner? I don't know, I've never put one in there, but I'm pretty sure you don't. And that is a nicely cleaned board now. It takes a while to evaporate. But that's a cleaned board. Then, because this is just so much fun, I then have to grab my double-sided tape. And every board, every screen has to have double-sided tape on it. And I cut a bit of double-sided tape and stick it on the back of the screen like that. And now that can be shipped. That goes inside. Okay, let's complete one whole thing. Hang on. Oh, dropped it. I need that, and I need... Oh, heavy. Okay, I'm back. So, I need my bubble wrap bags. Get it away from the iron. That'd be really bad. And I need my little silica gel things. So then I get my little bag. And I get my screen gets folded, goes in the bag. It's got to be protected. Goes in with a gel. Like that, and goes into the bag. And I now have one in stock. The double-sided tape on my displays have failed after a little while. Yeah, okay. I mean, ideally they should be glued down, right? But so for those that aren't aware, the reason... Hang on, I gotta concentrate for 1 second. There we go. So it's got headers in there, in the bag, sealed, and I have one in stock. Yay. Isn't that so exciting? It's what I spend my life doing. So for those who don't know, the reason I put double-sided tape on and I don't tape it down is that's not a problem to solder with the screen down. You won't damage the screen. But look, to be fair, I've seen messy soldering from people before on some boards they've sent me that have been faulty, that haven't been. I figure it's much easier for people to solder header pins on like this and then stick their screen on afterwards than it is to ask people to solder with the screen there, because it's a very tight fit. Hey Eric, how you doing? Bottle of rum to soak in. What are we talking about? Messy soldering. No, James, your soldering is great. You mean I'm not supposed to TIG braze those header pins? Or you can if you want to. Depends if you want your screen to work or not. Way more save to solder, indeed. Or save or safe? Safe to solder. Try Flux pen before placing Flex upon it. What was that? Jay, sorry, try Flux pen before placing Flex. Sorry, what do you mean? Flux pen where? Do you get a lot of returns? I'd love to see some bad ones. I don't get many returns at all. I've maybe had to replace, in terms of tiny picos, I've had to replace less than a dozen out of all the ones I've sold, which is pretty cool. But I have had some people return stuff in, and it's really gnarly. No one wants to ship them back as well because of the cost. Maybe. Mark of a well-designed... What are we talking about? Or the no returns thing. Yeah, it could just be that people don't want to return them. No, but whether they return them or not, like, they'd still contact me and say there's a problem. Like, I sent out a replacement Tiny Pico yesterday to someone in Australia who... They bought a 4-pack off me, and apparently one of the APAs occasionally flickers out and doesn't light up. I don't know, I've never seen that before. It could be a bad solder joint. I don't know. I didn't argue. I just sent him another one. He also bought a Reflow Master off me, and I told him once he gets his SSR and gets it all set up, put that board in and reflow it again, and it might fix itself. And then he gets an extra Tiny Pico for free. Yay. Yeah, I don't want unhappy people. Okay, let's do some more. But that's why I test my boards so much before I ship them, because of the cost of replacing them and the cost of people sending them back. I never require people to send them back, but occasionally I'm curious to know why the board failed. So I'll show you one in a moment. You might have a laugh over. Okay. The drag soldering is pretty quick. It's pretty good. I'm thinking slight lifting pressure by the FPC might have caused it to lift. It's possible. I mean, it's also probably not fantastic double-sided tape. I was using this stuff, but I'm almost out. Might be a better tape, the seller tape, I don't know. I can't seem to find this one anymore. I think this is stickier than this one. So it could just be the type of tape. But maybe just put some more double-sided tape on. Don't apply the flux pen before, you will get cold joints on the flex otherwise. Don't apply the flux. Why would I... Sorry, what do you mean don't apply it before? What's the point? The whole point of putting the flux there is that you don't get bridges when you drag. Why would I apply flux after? If I screw a board up trying to solder pins, I'm too embarrassed to return it, David. That's funny. Yeah, I don't understand. And I'm going to move them out the way because they're clean now. I don't understand why I've used a big bar soldering iron. Yeah, I don't have a big bar soldering iron, and I've taken a look at them, and I'm quite comfortable just dragging the way I do now. Yeah, look, I'm happy with this process, but I don't see why the flux is a problem at all. I don't think you get cold joints. I mean, that's what flux is for. Aren't you supposed to flux the capacitor? Yeah, I am. Anyway, I've done over 600 boards this way without a problem. So yeah, applying the flux before instead of afterwards. Result is better if you apply it afterwards. Like, people suggested applying the flux before instead of afterwards. The result is better if you apply it afterwards. I don't understand. I'm not applying it after. So these, okay, to understand, these boards have already got solder here. So as part of my stencil, the pads are soldered, and then the components are put on, surface mount components. So I'm refluxing pre-soldered joints. So yeah, I still don't understand. Any news on my P&P? Well, what do you mean news? I'm using it. It's working. So yeah, what do you mean by news? Did I just test this one? I can't remember. Cool. Okay, I'll do a few more. On top of the flex instead of underneath, directly on the board. Oh right, no, to put it on top, I'm doing it to because the paste goes up through the pads. There are little holes in the flex cable. Really hard to see under here. There are tiny little holes in the flex cable, and the solder sucks up. So the flux helps bring that through, and means that I don't get bridges when I'm dragging, and I don't have to damage the cable by going back and forwards on it. You're talking about fluxing underneath. Yeah, I wouldn't flux it underneath. It's about the cable. It's about protecting the cable. What was that bit? Should be cleaning it. Oh, good catch. Anyway, as I said, I've done, I don't know how many. When I finish this batch, it'll be probably close to 700 boards like this, and very rarely do I need to fix anything like that bridge before. Normally I catch that straight away if I'm wearing my proper glasses. Thanks, Tim. All good. Yep. The flux will flow where it needs to go when it melts the solder on the pads. It mixes. It does mix. Well, flux doesn't provide surface tension. Flux provides the stuff that eats into the metal. It doesn't provide surface tension, really. It eats into the metal surfaces that gives it little holes and cavities that the solder can grab into, if that makes sense. It's a acid is the wrong word, but it's like acid. Like it's designed to eat away to make the bond better. Yeah. Is no acid. It's not. I said acid is the wrong word. I'm talking about the process of what it does. I'm not talking about actually what it's made of. You know what I mean? Like it's designed to eat, and it's designed to etch into the metal. And then by etching into the metal, like if you solder two perfectly smooth surfaces together, there's nothing for the solder to really grip into. Rosin is from trees, and rosin is like it's again, acid is the wrong word. It's the, I don't know what the right word is, but like, you know, acid eats into things. Well, that's what rosin does from trees. Yeah. That's exactly what it's for. And it doesn't matter whether it's no clean or not. That's what the process of flux is. Can someone give me the right, no, not solvent. What's the right word? What I'm looking for, like the process of what it's doing. There's got to be a word for it, clearly, come on. So many pine trees gave up their sap for those flux pens. Yeah, I know, and it's a really shitty flux pen as well, I gotta say. Really shitty. But does the job. Yes, it's like etching, but it's... Yeah. I don't know. Whatever it is... Does everyone understand what I'm trying to say? Anyway, let's move on. If it's like welding, another purpose is to displace oxygen in the liquid state. Yeah, no, it's not. It's to do with making the surfaces rough. So there's things so the solder can grip. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to do two more. I don't know how many that is. Is anyone counting? Where's Paul? Is Paul doing counting? Abrasion? Yeah, yeah, maybe. It's like when you sand a surface before you stain it or paint it to make it... Yeah, anyway. Abrasive. Makes it more abrasive. Something like that. That's the purpose of flux. Okay, one more. And you know, Australians know about sanding. The cricket team is... Oh! Ooh, that's rough. I can't keep up with the chat. I keep looking away. I think etchant, but I believe it's mildly acidic, and that's how it etches. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what the word is. You all get the idea. I hope. Okay, I think that's my last one for now. Did I test that last screen? I can't remember. I think I did. Test again just in case. Good. And I'll clean them. I won't put tape on them now, but I'll clean them. Okay, put it away, put that away, and then we'll do something else. Does the flux in the pen need any cleaning, or does it just evaporate away? No, it needs cleaning. It's a no clean. I mean, you don't have to. No clean means you don't have to clean it, but I don't agree. Because there's two things to do with flux and why you clean it. One is because it's a lot of fluxes, it's not good to leave it on there. And two, it looks shit. And so you clean it because it looks bad. Whether you need to clean it or not is beside the point. You absolutely need to clean it. Okay, that was way too much on the cotton bud. These cotton buds don't last very long. So it's all disintegrated. Yeah, as you all know, I hate seeing flux on boards. No clean is supposed to be non-corrosive, but if you actually do research, you'll find out that there is a whole lot of different types of no clean flux, and some of them do have long-term issues if left on, depending on the components on your board. So you should do research, or you should just clean it off. Much easier to just clean it off, because as I said, it solves two things. You don't have to worry about what the flux will do long term, and it doesn't look yuck. J-Car Special. Yeah, I can't remember. I think I got this from China. I can't remember. Or maybe not. Australia. Oh, I might have got this from... what are they called? Ultronics. I might have got it. Oh, forever ago. Years ago I got that Flux pen. Flux also protects the metal surfaces from reoxidizing during soldering. Sure, I mean, Flux does a lot of stuff. Yeah. Surely it's low clean rather than no clean. Yeah, I think all Flux should be cleaned, as I said. Contact cleaner would remove flux. Contact cleaner. I don't know. The flux also enhances surface thermal conductivity. Well, good flux might. I'm pretty sure this flux won't. Flux in a pen. This is really crap flux. Like, you know. Is that IPA on a swab? No, it's not IPA. It's this stuff. IPA... yeah, I don't think cleans flux very well. Yeah. It's this. Heavy duty. Yeah. In soldering metals, flux serves as a threefold purpose. It removes any oxidized metal from the surface to be soldered, preventing further oxidation. There you go. Flux makes 5G work. Does that mean flux gives you brain damage and tumours? Hey, Nicholas. Good flux, good maker. Okay, let's stop talking about flux. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I did 12. I got 12 now. I've got to put tape on them, but I'll do that later. You guys don't want to see me do tape now, do you? And bag them. Actually, I'm going to do some tape and put them in little bags. I'm going to, because otherwise they're going to sit on my table for a while. I don't like IPA as a solution for cleaning it. IPA leaves residue. It can leave powdery residue inside fine pitch joints. It's why you shouldn't use IPA in an ultrasonic cleaner, even though lots of people do, and some people swear by it. But I don't think they inspect their products very well when they do, or they just don't use fine pitch. IPA is supposed to evaporate, yes, but before it evaporates, on areas, oops, put it on the screen, on areas on your board where there's like a lot of flux, like you would, for instance, get, a really good example would be, so inside here, these pins on the USB-C connector, there would be a lot of build-up of flux in this fine pitch stuff that would be sitting in the 90 degree portion of the back of the USB. Hang on. Let me do this. So, God, this is going to be the worst demonstration ever, because this won't go L. So the back of the USB connector and the pins on here, you can't see it unless you look under a microscope, but the flux, there'll be a flux stuck in here down the edge, right? More than you'd see on the pads. And So if you use IPA to clean this off and just let it evaporate without cleaning the IPA off, it doesn't get rid of all that flux. And what it does is it turns that flux to like a white powdery stuff, which then can corrode and damage. Anyway, I don't know the technical terms for this stuff. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there are very clear specifications and this is all documented. But bottom line is IPA for things like header pins and stuff, no problem, as long as it evaporates properly and as long as you've cleaned the flux off properly. But for fine pitch areas and grooves and stuff that you can't get into, letting it just evaporate, not good. Scotch leaves foreign residue. You're cleaning your boards with scotch? What? What did I miss? Of course, from experience, when you're soldering expensive unsealed micro relays, do not use too much flux. Yeah, don't use too much flux unless you can really guarantee that you can clean it off. Like even with an ultrasonic cleaner, it's very easy to have flux residue left over, like underneath components. Scotch is cheaper than IPA. At the moment it probably is, sure. Well, it depends on the scotch that you drink, right? I'm not a scotch drinker. Yeah, so like when you flux a board, like Lewis does, for instance, so much flux. The risk is that you can get flux under the component, like under an IC, because it gets in everywhere. And that's the stuff that doesn't clean off very easily, even in an ultrasonic cleaner. So I'm sure there's a lot more science about it all than I know. And I'm just speaking from experience, my own experience, which is more than some people and considerably less than others. So take everything I say with a grain of IPA. I've got cold coffee. It's going to make me sad. Almost done. 2 more. What's happening today in the chat? It's all over the place. Chat. I don't know. I can't follow it properly because I'm doing this. But I want to get this just out of the way so I don't feel so guilty. Oop. Okay. I got one of those self-warming mugs. Yeah, I've got the double-lined glass ones, so they don't warm very well, like on a warmer. Okay, I'm going to put these in bags and just done. Just get them out of the way. What? Olamella's never even used Flux. Flux is awesome. Flux makes your life so much easier when you're soldering or desoldering. But yeah, need a dedicated refill oven, specifically for warming cold coffee. I just need to get a coffee machine in my office, really. But then I need a fridge for the milk, and then I'll drink too much coffee. So it's a very slippery slope, that one. It's not a warmer pad. Oh no, I understood. Yeah, it's an actual cup warmer. I got that. But I don't have one of those either. But I've got a warmer pad. But the double-lined glass of my cup prevents the warmer from really warming my coffee. So that kind of sucks. Buy a Flux. No, don't buy a Flux pen. No, that's the point. Don't buy a Flux pen. Flux pens are shit. Excuse my language. You need gel Flux, not liquid Flux. Liquid Flux is not good. You want gel Flux. You want This is my water-based, because I've moved all my paste to water-based now. So this is my water-based Flux. It's all worn off, but that's the WS353. Get gel Flux. Don't buy the other crap stuff. And I've still got way too much Antec, and it's past its due date, but it still works really well. January 3rd, 2020, I know it's upside down, was the due date on this, and look how much is left still. But this will last a while. I don't really understand how, like, what happens to Flux when it gets past its due date. But as I said, other than with my soldering iron, all of the all of the paste I'm using now is water-based paste. I've changed my paste, everyone. I've changed my paste. I'm not using that paste anymore. You see this paste? This is not my paste anymore. I'm not using it. I still recommend it, absolutely. But that is not my paste. I have a new paste. If the Flux is sealed and not exposed to O2, then it will probably last forever. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, I have it capped in the nozzle, but I can't guarantee I can't guarantee it's completely sealed. New paste. You can't tell us. I'm not going to tell you no. No, I will. I'll show you the paste in a moment. I don't recommend it though, because it's extremely expensive. It's only available in 500 gram jars, and it's very expensive, and you can't buy it anywhere yet other than directly from Chipquick. It's not. It will eventually be resold, but right now it's not, because it's brand new. I think I got the first jar off the batch, pretty close. I definitely got the new paste Subtle Flex. What? Subtle Flex, what does that mean? Balls. What do you mean balls? It's a T4. But it's water-based. It's a low temp, water-based Flux. The first of its kind ever. First of its kind. I've been waiting for this forever. I much prefer working with water-based Flux with my reflow, because they ultrasonic clean way better and quicker and nicer than ultrasonic cleaning a no clean Flux. No clean Flux requires chemical based cleaners in an ultrasonic cleaner. Even though plenty of people don't, it's what they require to actually clean properly and not get any residue, again specifically under components or in fine pitch that you can't notice. Damn, I thought you meant solder paste. No, I am talking about solder paste. I'm talking about... What? Is a low temp more fun to rework? It's awesome to rework. I hate reworking high temp paste. Hate it with a passion. I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 more bags. Let me go get 4 more of these little bags, and then I'm done. One sec. Okay, and I'll bring my paste over while I'm at it. This is my new paste. WS991 LT500 T4 Chipquick. Thermally stable, water soluble solder paste. Yay, that doesn't focus very well. Sorry, it's too bright. They do have a non-thermally stable version as well, but this thermally stable, low temp, water-based paste. I ordered BS 170s from AliExpress, and they worked reversed. Yeah, gotta be careful about fake. Screenshot quick. Not going to show you again. But I don't recommend it because it's really expensive. Like, horrific. and only available in big jars for the time being. I don't know if they'll ever do small or syringes. So unless you're doing a lot of pasting, which I do, I don't recommend it. But I always recommend people do low temp paste, because there's just no, unless you've got a commercial product that has to be reflowed again by someone, like a module, like at my Nanos, then there's no reason to use high temp paste, I personally believe. And low temp is so much easier to rework. I've already gone through half of this. I only got this 3 weeks ago, and I've gone through half the jar already. I have to buy some more. Yeah, reworking low temp paste is like a dream compared to high temp paste. Just too many chances of damaging components and drying the flux out too much. And anyway, just my opinion. High temp is good when you have to do mixed components on both sides of the board. Yes, definitely makes life easier, but you can definitely do both sides of a board with the same temperature paste. I've done that plenty of times, but yes, you are right. It is easier. If it's got to go through a conveyor, then yes, you want to use different temperature pastes. But how many people, hobbyists here anyway, do double-sided boards that need to worry about that? Probably not many. I mean, even I don't like doing double-sided boards anymore, although I might do some more now that I've got a better pick and place machine and a better oven. I might be not so anti doing double-sided boards again. Okay, let me put these away. Wow. Thank you all for bearing with me while I did those. I still have all of the bottom lot to do. Stacks more to do. I don't know how many are in there. But at least I've got some I can put in bags, and I feel better about that. I feel much better about that. Not so much about my coffee. Yeah. Not great. Okay, so can we bag up some Whoppers next, please? Well, interestingly, I ran out of Whoppers yesterday again. I made a stack of them last time, and I'm out. And I've now got people on the wait list already again. So I could make some Whoppers. I need to make some Whoppers. I've got nothing, no boards, no kits. I've got all the parts I need. Finding that anything using BGA parts expects caps to be on the bottom. I'm not saying you can't do it single-sided. Sure. Well, the thing is with BGA and with caps is when you got balls in the middle of the chip, how do you need the caps to be as close as possible. So putting it on the other side of the board through a via straight to the pin is just shortest path for a decoupling cap. Whopper? You don't know what my Whopper is? Yeah, you want smaller than 0402. I really want to make a board with 0201 components. What can I make? I think it's crazy that I want to go 0201. But I can. There is no board I make right now that needs 0201. What? Hand soldered 0201 the other day. I've not even hand soldered 0201 because I've never needed to work at 0201, but I'd like to. Oh, it's so tacky in 80s war games, but it's such a great film. It's not dust. 01005, that's getting closer to dust. For filtering reasons, best to put the caps nearest the chip. You put it underneath, it does make it easier to route the signals. Yes, but it's also going through a via, which is also not great. So you want to make sure that you can only do it if you're using microvias, and places like JLC, PCB and stuff can't do microvias. So, I mean, you can do it without microvias, but yeah, you're potentially wrecking the decoupling. It's still better than having the decoupling really far away from the pin, but yeah. Make a tiny 0201 Knight Rider board just for fun. Using what? 0201 LEDs. So let me quickly... Okay. I'm not starting a debate. I am going to get a coffee in a moment. Try 008004. Is that really a thing? No thanks, Dustin. If I can't pick and place it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not scared about doing tiny, but like, you know, and making just a board just for fun, okay, sure, I'm happy to do that. But I need, like, anything I do, like if it's going to be something that I productize, it's got to be able to be pick and placed by me. So 0201 is the limit I can do there. As long as you route power to the cap, then device, best results either way. Sure. Fred likes through hole. Okay, so just quickly, sorry, I'm not going to start a debate again. I know we did this the other week. Just going back to here. So, remember we were talking about my test jig the other day and how I wanted to make it lower. And we had all these different discussions about how that could happen, right? If everyone remembers. Well, I have a solution, interestingly, and it did not come from the discussion. So that's my current one. As you can see, it's really high. It works. It's fine. And we were discussing putting the board next to the Pi and all sorts of other stuff. Well, I got this, not for this project. I got this is for my camera optical inspection project. I wanted another case for a Pi. And so this is an Argon case, but it's an Argon Neo, where the last case I got was an Argon 1, which is a different design. This design is really interesting. So it's all metal, and thermal paste inside makes this whole thing a heat sink, right? So there's a Pi in here, there's a heat sink, and this is the extra high header. You can get shorter ones, right? But here's the thing. I don't have a board that'll fit here directly because my boards are too wide. But actually, what I can do is this. So what I can do if I use these cases is that instead of doing like this, how I've got my test jig right now, I could do like this, right? Header here, goes there. No screws for the headers here, but it holds it in there. Screws here. So they're screwed into place, and my board could come out here. It could be as long as I need. Feet here. Oops, going to the ground. Oh God, stop doing that sound. Going to the ground to keep this steady so I can put pressure. And then what I can end up with, I can put my clamp can go here. Right? It doesn't matter where it goes because it's not being blocked by any of the screws. And my board under test can go here, the same as they do right now. Whatever, wherever it goes, okay? Don't forget the screws are back here. So like my board under test could go there, my clamp could fit there, and screen, buttons, whatever I do. The point is, look how low this is. I could end up with something that is half the height. The footprint is actually not really any bigger. Well, it's not bigger. It's probably smaller. Just a different shape. Smaller than my current one, because I've got that big base on the bottom to stop it doing tilting. It's lower, and I solved the heat issue with the big heatsink. And these are only like $25 each, these cases. So I think that could be a solution for converting my test jigs over to be smaller and solve all the other issues I had, like heat, height, weird placement of this clamp. So obviously this clamp works. Like I recreated this top yesterday. That's what I laser cut. And so this is now clamping my board, no problem, because it's right in the middle of the board now. I just had to redesign this layout. And I even uncovered the screen for those of you that didn't like that. But I thought this might be an interesting thing because, yeah, it solves a lot of issues. Like, if you look at like if I put them both next to each other, look at the height difference already. Like, I don't have to have the off the ground bit here, which I do for heat. Like, I've saved half the height already. So I think that could be a way to go without throwing a vaccine under a microscope. Okay, I don't know what we're talking about. Why not use a Pi 0W? Because a Pi 0W doesn't have proper USB. You can't hot swap USB. Like, I can't plug in this and then unplug it, put a different board and plug it in. It doesn't work that way. It's not full USB on a Pi 0W, and it's much slower. That was originally my test jig design, was for a Pi 0W, but yeah, no, it doesn't work. Okay, anyway, that's that. I just wanted to show, and it's a really cool case, and this is magnetic, so it just, oops, which is quite nice. So this will be for my optical inspection. I still have to buy a whole bunch of extruded aluminium. Okay, that's that out the way. Shall we get a coffee? Do a coffee break? Quick coffee break, and then we'll get on to maybe doing some deep sleep stuff with the profiler kit. Yes, no. Yes, no. For those that are on the other side of the world, yes, no. There's not an option to place a connector around the border and place the lever behind the connector. I don't want the lever behind the connector. It's going to be unbalanced then. Then everything tilts when I'm trying to do the lever. That was one of the things I needed to do. It's why I need such a big base on these right now, is to prevent this from doing when I'm doing the lever. So yeah, putting it behind will tilt it all backwards when I use it. It's a balance thing as well. Okay, that's a yes to coffee. Who said no? Oh, no sugar in yours. Hey, Bob. Okay, I thought you were saying no to coffee. I hear a lot from Aussie news sources that are afraid that Biden... What? I have not seen any news about that, Joe. I mean, most people I know, hey, X-Micron, are relieved about what's happening. Chris had a pot and a half. What? Hey, Teletronics. Okay. Coffee time. So I'm just reading. Fake news. I don't think there'll be more actual country running for a little while. I think it's going to take a long time for Biden and his team to become effective because of everything they need to fix and do and focus on for a while. China is going to move into Australia. No, Australia and China are bang, butting heads big time. When we colonize Mars? I don't know. Let me call my mate Elon and ask him. The whole world is becoming insular again. Like, all the countries everyone's looking inward and everyone's going more isolationist again. Like, the whole global thing is all, there's no, hey, Quixotic Geek, don't. Can you remove that, please, or I will. The word, at least. The sentiment you're entitled to, but please remove the word. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, Johnny did it. You're entitled to... You can't delete your own posts? Really? Oh, China wants Australia. No, that'll never happen. Everyone's being selfish again. Absolutely. Or everyone's... Yes. Selfish is a rough word. Everyone thinks they're doing the right thing by themselves. For themselves. Like for their people. But it's not. It's going to cause way more harm than good. It's going backwards. China want to take over Australia. They did a really bad job starting that one. Mars is reversed for Eagle Lords and Space Karens. Oh, reserved. Sorry, reserved. Reversed. Yeah, look, hopefully it's just a phase everyone's going through. But, yeah. Okay, coffee, and then we can keep talking, and we're going to do some debugging of currents with the Power Profiler Kit 2. But first, coffee for sure. Back soon. I'm back. I'm back. Johnny's rickrolling again. Brian had a good tweet. What did Brian tweet about? Oh. But that was a different picture though, wasn't it? Oh. Is that working? Are we working? So this is Brian's tweet, but this was a picture from something else, I think. My passion levels for a project, yeah. And then what was Dave Darko's reply? That's exactly what Zach described recently in his video. Should have painted a 555. Okay. Okay. So let's actually happened. Okay, I'm just getting some stuff ready. It was from Dave's tweet about a band. Yes, it was about a band, wasn't it? Are we getting dropped frames now? It looks like my stream is getting dropped frame. No, has it gone green? Frames. Okay. So, okay, let me get some stuff ready and then we'll talk about what is going on. Okay. So this is the Power Profiler UI. I'm sure many of you have seen it before. Some of you may not have. This is a new device from Nordic. The Power Profiler kit. And it basically, amongst a whole bunch of stuff, allows you to profile power that a device is taking over time. Was that cost question to me, Jay, or someone else? Catch you later, Alan. We need to catch up for lunch. Yep, me. Okay, so I can't remember. I think it was about 120 bucks Australian. Hang on. Let me do the DigiKey thing. DigiKey Power Profiler Kit 2. Is it sold out again? I know that it's in and out of stock all the time. Yeah, 20 weeks lead time again. Wow. So this is the kit here. Yeah, $127 Aussie, which then qualifies it, or plus GST, qualifies it for free shipping. But yeah, they're always out of stock. It's very, very popular. Play money dollars. Monopoly money. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading chat. Very reasonably priced. Very reasonably priced. So I just need to plug it in. So actually, let me do this so I can also be over here. So you plug into USB and data like that. and everyone wants to know what this center thing was. Well, you'll see in a moment. It is going to light up. Okay, so I now select device. Hello. Exotic can't paste links. I will give you moderator status so you can paste a link. Yeah, the problem with the microcurrent is that it's not great with the ESP32 or those type of boards, that because it doesn't do auto ranging. It needs to be able to do auto ranging. Oh, because it's not turned on. How if I turn it on? Okay, I turn it on. Ooh, the light. That's a light. It's pretty cool. Here we go. Now you can see it even better. Yay. So I go select device, and that's all I need to do. And now if I get a board, now I've got a whole bunch of boards in front of me, and I can't remember which one's which. But if I plug this board in, let me just zoom that back out a bit. Good. Okay, so if I grab this feather, and I'm just going to plug into the battery port. Right, so I've got my battery connector plugged into V out and ground. And it's going to stay. Okay, so over here you've got enable power output. So if I click this, it'll power it. So I turn it on, it's now powering the board, as you can see. You see a little LED flash. This is going in and out of deep sleep mode. And so what I can do is just click start sampling, and it's now sampling the power of the board over time. So it's now in sleep, and then it'll wake up. Whoa. It's doing auto range thing. And so at any time I can stop it. So I'm going to stop sampling, and I can now, using shift, I can click arrange like this, and it shows me my average. Oh, hang on. That's in the way. Let me just shrink this down. There we go. And it shows me my average power usage over that time, and my maximum, and the time, and stuff like that, right? Nano mouse. What? What are you guys talking about? Yeah, I've got the current ranger. I don't believe it's overly accurate. I get weird differences in readings on it all the time. So you can see here that I'm currently sitting, it says 90 microamps in deep sleep here. Then over here when it's awake, right, I can grab a section there, and I can see as an average 30 milliamps when it's awake. And you can see it cycle on and off, and then you can see, okay, when it wakes, just before it puts itself to sleep, there's a bit of a spike over here. Oops. I'm not sure what this spike up is here. And then obviously when it wakes from sleep, it does a bit of stuff. This could be the, sorry, my middle mouse button's still funky. It's doing some type of wake up. So this is an interesting thing with CircuitPython specifically, is that this period here, from here to here, is before the board boots. So this is just the board waking up and the USB configuring itself. It's at this point here where CircuitPython starts running, is available, and my code is running. So half of this time for waking up is CircuitPython, or it's the USB stack and all the other stuff doing its thing before I've got access to CircuitPython. Now, this is a saying up front, not a CircuitPython bashing thing at all. Not a CircuitPython backing. But this shows that, like, if I wanted to wake up and then grab some data, connect to Wi-Fi, send it, and then go back to sleep, then it's like as quick as possible, then it shows that CircuitPython is really at it as it is right now. And don't forget, CircuitPython is brand new on the ESP32S2, and its sleep capabilities is brand new. It's only come out in this last couple of betas and release candidates. So there is stacks of opportunity for improvement and optimization. Let me say that straight up, right? But I've always had an issue with how long it takes the board to boot before I see my CircuitPython drive and before my code starts running. Now, on I will get a we'll do a comparison against MicroPython on a Tiny Pico in a moment, and some of this has to do with the size of the flash, but a lot of it's to do with the fact that it's actually booting up as a USB mass storage device, and that takes time. And so, you know, looking at this is not a great, doesn't look great for doing long-lasting, low-power, deep sleep, waking, and things like that with CircuitPython. This whole section here would not exist if it was being done in Arduino, for instance, right? But then obviously we've got some processing, we've got some spikes at the end. I'm not sure, this is all ESP based, whatever this is, and then it goes down to sleep. So I'm curious to see if we can get this 90 microamps down, right? You can set the voltage there manually. So what was that question? Yeah, I can choose. So if you look at here, I'm telling it I want it to be 3.7 volts. I can't make this UI any bigger, sorry. So I'm powering the board from the kit and I'm telling it I want it to be 3.7 volts. I can drop this down to 3.3 volts, which will give me different results. I can also push it up to 4.2. So, you know, what will this behave like if it's a maximum full battery? What's it going to behave like when it's running at 3.3 volts? What happens if I'm under voltage? Because it'll still technically work, and I can then measure accordingly. But 3.7 is a nominal value, and so I leave it around 3.7. It's all common differences between a compiled executable and scripted languages. No. This has nothing to do with compiled executable and scripted language. What I'm talking about right now is all compiled. What I'm talking about is that because the CircuitPython is designed, you plug it in and it appears as a USB host as it boots up. Even when there's no USB connected to it, it still does that process. Like this whole section here is the board waking itself up before CircuitPython is running. This is nothing to do with interpreted language at all, right? It's a bit of tiny USB, bit of this, bit of that. I don't know. I don't know a lot about USB internals. I don't know what it takes to have a USB device become a USB host. I know if you take any flash drive and plug it into your computer, it takes a few seconds before it appears, right? I don't know what that process is. Can you disable the USB on CircuitPython? No, because so CircuitPython is designed around being a mass storage device for ease of use, and which is perfectly fine. That's you know, it makes it way more approachable than something like MicroPython, which is it's a much lower level access to, and I guess the API is much more complex, but it's also harder to get your code on and debug your code and stuff, where CircuitPython makes all that easy because it's just appears as a drive, right? So This is not a discussion about whether that's good or bad for CircuitPython, but it does have this knock-on effect when you're doing low power stuff. This was never in their minds when they were designing CircuitPython and made the decisions about has to have native USB only and blah, 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 right? USB chip is external on ESP32S1 and gets powered by the USB connector. Sure, but that's not what the USB chip on a normal ESP32, we shouldn't call it an S1 because that doesn't exist, also can't be a mass storage device. The issue is the mass storage device, not whether it's internal or external USB. There's talk about BLE support which would enable USB-less operation. Yes, down the line, absolutely, but that doesn't mean that you can turn the USB off. So it has digital channels that you can toggle an out bit in code and see how it syncs with current consumption. So it has a digital channels that you can toggle an out bit in code. What does it mean, an out bit in code? So I'm not sure what you mean by an out bit in code. So this is powering. Oh, you can. Sorry, you're talking about the logic port. I mean, the profiler kit can do a lot more than just what I'm doing right now. This is just powering the device and reading its consumption. Yeah, it can do way more, including take an external power source in to run it rather than using its own power source, and then do. Yeah, you can be checking I/O and other stuff with it as well. Yes, you can sync power usage with code. Yes, absolutely. You can trigger through the logic port. Sorry. Yeah. No, stream bandwidth is fine. No drop frames or anything at the moment. It's actually quite high. So anyway, that's not what I want to look at. What I want to look at is why am I at 90 microamps, for instance, instead of 50 microamps or 40 microamps. So what I'm going to do is start hot airing some of these things off. So I'm going to turn the power off. So it stopped powering my board. I'm going to unplug it. And the first thing I'm going to do is take the ambient light sensor off. I'm going to hot air it off, and which is on the main 3.3 volts. So it's working all the time, whether I'm reading it or not. Actually, No, I'm not. What I'm going to do first, I'm not going to hot air it off. I've got an idea. I'm going to plug it in to my USB. So it's still running the same code now. Schematic. Hey Charles, what schematic of what? Okay, I'm going to open up a new Visual Studio Code window, and I'm just going to open up. So go to CircuitPython, code.py, run out of cider. So this is the code I'm running right now. Let me just make it bigger so everyone can see it. It's pretty basic. It wakes up, it turns my LED on, the blue LED, it flashes so I can see that it's doing something. I'm just printing ping, which won't do anything because there's no serial connected. It stays awake for 2 seconds, and then it turns the LED off and it goes to sleep for 10 seconds, right? Now what I can do is the ambient light center is connected to IO4. That's 4. Whoa, window crashed. What happened there? Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Should we try that again? Not seen Visual Studio do that before. Wow. It's a bit crazy. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to call this amb for ambient light sensor, right? So I'm going to grab access to it, and I'm going to switch it to be I'm going to make it be an output high. No, I don't want to do that. I want to make switch to how do I make it? Okay, here's Bruce. How's your CircuitPython? Okay, sleep current on a PIC I'm designing is about 9 microamps. Sleep's about, yeah, okay. But I'm pretty sure a PIC doesn't have Wi-Fi and native USB and a whole bunch of 12-bit ADCs and an ultra-low processor and touch and all the other stuff, right? Oh god, my CircuitPython is bad. Switch to input. How do I pull it high? I know I can from digital I/O. Okay, my CircuitPython is bad, and that should be amb. Can I do amb dot pull? Is it pull dot high? Oh god, I don't remember. Is capital P? Oh yeah, pull. Oh, I need to yeah, okay. No one laugh. I'm typing Python digital I/O pull. Pause, drink your coffee, resume. Yes, okay. Digital I/O dot pull, and it's dot up. Is it pull dot up? Maybe. We should have a look to see what it's doing. Screen /dev/ c.usb modem 115200. Okay, so it doesn't like that. Module object has no attribute IO. Oh, it's not 04, it's just IO4. Okay. Whoops. Ah! Hit the wrong key. How do I close this? How do I close it? Doesn't matter. Okay. Reboot. AMD. Alright, AMD instead of AMB. That is crazy. Actually, you know what I could have done? I'm going to get rid of that. That was silly. Close that. I'm going to do it here. Okay. Let's do it in the same window. Screen dev cu.us. Oh. So I'm just screening to it, just getting like a terminal session to it, which allows me to get access to the REPL. Okay, so it doesn't dislike this code, which is good. So that means that it's setting that pin that I would normally read it from to an input high. So if they're both high at the other end, there should be no power going through, right? Mike's going. Working a few minutes. Catch you later, Mike. So I'm curious to know now if I unplug this. Wow, it disconnected again. There must be... Okay, I don't know what that is. If I disconnect the CircuitPython drive, and if I plug it back in here, okay, it is plugged in. Go away. And if I start sampling again, except it's not powered, there we go. So that's on. Well, that's spike. Catch you later, Fred. And off. So if I now stop sampling and I grab this section, that says 95. So we've gone up. So doing an input high, leaving that pin high, is sinking more power. You have R6 to ground. What? Can sleep pull IOs high? Well, so technically yes, but I don't know if CircuitPython can. So CircuitPython does some weird things with its pins. And I don't know the state of its pins. So it holds them and it resets them and it does some funky things with pins. So yeah, I was just curious to see whether that would even do anything. That would still be, Chaz, you're right, that'll still be sinking it down because of the voltage divider. So yeah, that's really not going to do anything. I was just curious. Anyway, so just need to get rid of that bit of code, and I'm going to take the ambient sensor off. Off the board and see if it improves things. It's going to complain that I just unplugged it without shutting it down. Okay, so hot air time. Oh, I didn't leave that plugged in. Probably should have. I'm not going to turn my fan on. Okay, microscope. Hello, microscope. Why are you not turning on? Oh, there we go. Sometimes it takes a while. You're not going to focus. Go. It's trying to focus. There it goes. Okay, so let's take this sucker off. This is just my test board. My poor butchered board. Come on. Okay. Put it over here. Don't really need to save it, but put this on a heatsink just to cool it down quickly. Microscope has a heart. Yeah, I was talking meanly to it. Where's the Flux pen? Are there no smaller SRAM packages out there? Not really. Line-Tech make a WSON version of the chip, but it only takes a millimeter less space. So, and more expensive. Okay, so now let's try it without the light sensor and see if that makes any difference. Okay, so start sampling. Well, it looks like it. Looks like it's gone down to about 60. 61. So 30 microamps for the ambient light sensor. No, I didn't save the recording. I can. Because that's basically, it's a voltage divider, right? So it's going through that plus 100k resistor. So yeah, that's pretty significant. So I could move that to LDO 2 on a new revision. It just means that you can't wake the board from the light sensor. I don't know if anyone's going to want to or not, right? Okay, so what else? We should also have a look at making sure that LDO2 is actually off, which it should be. Let me just switch to here. Now I'm using this meter at the moment because my other one is out of batteries and I'm too lazy right now to unscrew it and change the batteries. Use a jumper that can be removed to enable disable it. No, well, putting a mechanical jumper on a board is pretty ugly. People will lose the jumper, having something stick up from the board like that. Yeah, it's not ideal. I'd rather not use something like that as a solution. I could do it programmatically. Like I could stick a FET on there to control it, but then I'm still going to be syncing current through the FET, so I wouldn't get all the gains. Okay, so let's just make sure that ground. So when it's in deep sleep, what was that? Is that 12 millivolts? And when we wake up, well, we don't really stay awake long enough. Okay, so LDO2 is off, which is good, which means the APA will be off. Well, it should be off. We're not turning it on, so there should be nothing coming out of it. If there was any parasitic power coming through the APA, then we should be seeing something coming out of the 3.3 volt out. So what else can we take off the board? I know that the AND gate that I'm using on the board takes a couple of microamps. So this little guy here, but it's only a couple, like it's very low. This little guy here is an AND gate, or a dual AND gate, which is what controls enable on the LDO2 via GPO21 and VDD SPI. So when the board shuts down, that VDD SPI automatically shuts down. Hey Capo Steve, which automatically turns off LDO2 for you, so you don't have to remember to turn it off in deep sleep. So there's really like nothing else that I can... I'm trying to think what else I can disable on the board. I mean, I can take that dual AND gate out, which shuts down that whole section, and just see what happens. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take it off just to have a look. I'm just curious. What is the big square chip? Do not know what that is. I'll answer it later. What big square chip? That one? This one here? Yeah, we don't need that one. Is that what we're talking about? Okay, let me just turn the power off. I'm going to take the AND gate off. What is the spec of the S2? What is the lower ceiling? What do you mean in terms of... it's about 25 microamps. Like the best you're going to get on a board is 30. About 30. No, that's not a Pico D4. That's an S2. SP32 S2. It's about... They say 25 microamps. So it's like more like 30 microamps. Do we want to see this? Yeah, why not? Whip everything off the board. So this little guy here is the dual AND gate. I've already swapped the APA on this. I had a problem with one of the APAs. This is the first production board I made. Okay, take it off. Pull that down again. I'll try that again. I'm pretty sure they'll reduce current consumption and functionality about 0. What are we talking about? Yeah, pretty sure they will reduce current consumption. What was that an answer for? Cable tie? Yes, those three big chips are Flash, ESP32 and RAM. What is the spec of the S2? Oh, that was that question. Oh, remove the S2. Sure, that'll definitely reduce power consumption. And functionality. Right, maybe I understand now. Okay, so let's try that again. Turn it on. Start sampling. The LiPo charger won't draw anything when there's no 5 volts connected. I let it run a couple of times. So the thing with deep sleep though, on the ESP32 specifically, I don't know about other chips. There we go, 31. So something on that side is taking 30 microamps, which is interesting. So we should have a look at the data sheet of that AND gate, but I'm pretty sure the AND gate is in the microamps lower range. No, that's not, that 30 drop is not the AND gate. The 30 drop is the AND gate and anything to the right of the AND gate. So there's an LDO there. There's the APA there. There is a Schottky diode there. So there are all things on that side that could be the culprit collectively, right? So let's have a look at. So there is leakage on the PMIC, yes, but it's well, no, the LDO is not 12 of that because the LDO is turned off. So the LDO is 12 microamps quiescent current in use. It's not 12 microamps disabled. It'll leak something, but not 12 microamps. Just give me a second. So we'll do some research. We'll have a look. Okay, so so the AND gate I'm using, actually that's really not what I oh, crashed that before. Sorry, I said to spin something up. Go away. Okay, so parts. What am I looking at? Logic ICs. Okay, this is my AND gate I'm using. So let's look at the data sheet on the AND gate. Okay, so here we go. So it's technically never off. So we're looking around 5 microamps. Yeah, the birds are busy outside. So we're looking about 5 microamps for the AND gate. Interesting that it takes it's got a higher leakage current than it's got an on current. Okay, so, and then we've got the my LDO, which I don't even know if I've got in here. I do. Oh, had the datasheet link. Anyway, okay. So 12 microamps for its quiescent current, but its standby current, which should be in its off state, should be 0.1. Let's go. Shutdown current. So it should only be leaking, let's say 1 max, 1 microamp. So that's 6 microamps between the two of them. So the question is, am I getting any leakage on the APA? I'm actually thinking of stopping to use the APA for several reasons. So the APA's got a problem. It can be powered by parasitic current. So if you don't have VDD connected and you send signal through data and clock, you can actually light up the APA, which is really frustrating. So it is quite possible, like I don't know the state of those two pins. I'm not enabling or doing anything with the APA at that point in time. But CircuitPython does stuff to the pins. It sets things as inputs as default. And I don't know whether they're pulled high or low or whatever, you know what I mean? So I don't know the state of those specific pins. What I can do is put the AND gate back on. I'm going to put the AND gate back on and pull the APA off and see what we get. I think I'll do that. Yeah, sorry, wrong camera. Input should be high impedance. Well, it should be. I don't know what they're doing though. Well, so for instance, in MicroPython, they don't do anything with the I/O. It's up to you to choose what you want to do. And then what a pin will stay doing in deep sleep is different to what it's doing when it's awake. But in CircuitPython, they take over all the pins, and I don't know what they do to them at the point where it goes to sleep. So we can't make any assumptions. Okay, let's take the APA off. Whoops, they went flying off my tweezers. That's okay. Now the other thing is, I don't know if it's really necessary for me to have that Schottky there. These are the same footprints as the Tiny Pico-ish. Yes, ish. I'm still evolving my footprints. Vented power supply sequencing. What? Diodes can leak a lot. Right, so I don't even know if I need the I put the diode there to stop people from trying to power anything via the 3.3 volt output pin. Like it's an out, not an in. But technically, well, something happened with my stream preview. Can we the schematic, please? What? Sorry, you want to see the schematic? Oh, I forgot to change cameras anyway. Technically, I don't have to do that. Autocorrect. Auto-carrot. Okay. So let's plug this back in. Sorry, I'm getting rid of the schematic just for a second. Turn it on. Start sampling. Right, we're still at 62. So, putting the AND gate back on put us back up to 62. even with without the APA there. So it's not the APA that's causing it. So let's now take the Schottky off. If when IO21 is high, the input may oscillate. Why would the input... but it doesn't matter if it oscillates or not, because VDD SPI is pulling it low, and it's an AND gate. So if you're saying that the AND gate might be getting powered, okay, well that'll give us an extra 5 microamps, right? But that's not explaining 30 microamps. I understand that, but it's still not powering the right-hand side, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to switch cameras, I'm just going to take it off quickly. I'm just going to unlock that. There we go. Okay. I'm more concerned about destroying the AND. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, we can definitely. So, Chuz, how about a simple pull-down resistor wear? The diode is on the schematic over here. Okay. Okay, so this is with the AND gate still on. What's it? Off screen, doesn't matter. AND gate still on, but the Schottky off. We'll see what we get now. Instead of the AND gate to bias the second, no. But there are two different things that control the LDO turning on and off, so it needs an AND gate. There are two different sources that can toggle the power there. Okay, oops. So 61. So it's not the Schottky that's causing it. So let me turn it off. I'm going to have to remove the LDO. Maybe, eventually. Right now I don't have to remove the LDO. Yet. I'm not up to that yet. What I am going to do is... The other channel is like a what? Okay, I'm just going to... open code.py again. LDO. That's our LDO2. And I'm going to switch it to output value false. Okay, so it's now low. The pin output will only be enabled in deep sleep if people deliberately do it. Right, but they could... yeah, maybe not. Okay, so LDO switch to output false. Okay, that should hopefully, we should check that first just to make sure. Okay, no errors. Yeah, that's another option, Chuz. So all of this was designed before I had my first S2 chip. Well, my first usable S2 chip. So yeah, look, it can go through a lot of different changes. Right now I'm just trying to debug what this is. Okay. Let's close that. Let's close that. Let's eject the board. So it goes cleanly. Oh, go away. Okay, this is just to see whether LDO, whether pulling it low will have any bearing on it. Wow, it's already been 2.5 hours. Catch you later, Andy. I think it's almost time to stop. $57. Looks like it might have dropped a fraction. And this could be that extra 5 microamps. So it could have been technically on because of the high impedance state of IO21. So now seeing it's lower, it's still not as low. It's knocked about 3 microamps off. Doesn't explain the 30. It is connected. It's implied, like it's not out on here, but it is. Yeah, it's only showing the 3 pins of the actual AND gate. It's kind of bizarre. Yeah. Okay, I'll remove the LDO. You just want to see the LDO gone. Okay. It's the last thing I'm going to try, and then I'm going to... It's already been 2.5 hours. And right now, the biggest drop has been the ambient light sensor. Just bear with me a second. Okay, LDO is off. Let it cool down. See you, Badan. Catch you later. Check all of my inputs for pull-ups. So I don't have any pull-ups specifically on my board, but I don't know the state, again, of what the chips are being set to with CircuitPython. It was Sion's mouse pointer. That's really funny. Catch you later, Johnny. Okay. Last thing we're going to look at. Board is plugged in. Scope probe to the pins and find out their state. I can. I definitely can. 63. So without the LDO there, it's actually gone up. So it's not the LDO. So the only thing I can think of is the data sheet for the AND gate is wrong. Right, but when I take off the AND gate, Chris, I drop that 30 microamps. So yeah, it looks like this AND gate is bullshit. It looks like this on the AND gate is just total lies. Which is crazy. Because that's not the case. Excuse me a second, folks. I'm just going to mute for 1 sec. Sorry about that. Try using 2 MOSFETs instead of the gate chip. Sure, I'm still going to get leakage through the MOSFETs, so I need to read back now. Check the input and outputs on the AND gates to see what the voltages are. Can you solder the AND gate to a scrap board and measure the current draw? It's pretty small. I mean, sure, I could. Where on the board is the gate? What do you mean where on the why? Why an AND gate anyway? What 2 signals need to be interlocked? The VDD SPIO and IO21. Sorry, VDD SPI and IO21. So when VDD SPI is high, which means the board is awake, then the user can switch LDO2 off if they don't need it. So for instance, without that ability, the board waking up from deep sleep to do stuff would turn on the second LDO automatically. Right? If the user doesn't need LDO2 turned on, they can turn it off and save battery power while the device is awake. Why do I need to put it back on and turn the camera on while doing it? One of those signals has to be on in order for it to operate. No, they both have to be on. It's an AND gate. It's not an OR gate, an AND gate. They both have to be on. So the board has to be powered and IO21 has to be on. Sorry, the board has to be awake and IO21 has to be on for the AND gate to be on. If IO21 is off, the AND gate is off, or if it's in deep sleep, therefore it's off. User program code is controlling IO21. VDD SPI is controlled by the SP32, off when it's in deep sleep. I don't have a thermal camera, sorry. The AND gate can be replaced by 2 diodes and a pull-up wired OR. Correct, but that'll also suck more power. I mean, will it suck 30 microamps? I don't know. This shouldn't be sucking 30 microamps, not according to the data sheet. I mean, as if one of those signals isn't optional. I mean, if one of those, sorry, what I mean is one of those signals isn't optional. What do you mean it's not optional? Check that it's connected to VCC. Yeah, it's connected to VCC. That's it there. Is the reset pull-up active? Well, that reset pull-up is always active, yes. That has nothing to do with this, though. Any leftover floating input pins? Well, again, I don't know, because CircuitPython do funky stuff with their pins. They control all the pins, and they set them to different states for the user. I don't know. I need to look into it more. Correct, VDDIO is under control of the micro. I don't understand what that has to do with anything. It still has to shut down the LDO, regardless of what the user wants when it goes into deep sleep. Would it help to add a resistor in line to pin 1? Not to pin 1. Pin 1 is VDD SPI. You mean pin 5. Is that what you're talking about? This is how it's being powered, pin 5. This is an input to an AND gate. So power a buffer from the output and switch it based on the I/O pin. Okay, maybe, sure. Couldn't I also just power the AND gate from VDD SPI? So the AND gate is shut down when it's in deep sleep. And it's awake. Interesting, I could just use a single AND gate or, yeah, a buffer. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yep. Chris, that'll work. Not a lot, very small. I don't have a lot of power coming out of VDD SPI, especially when I've got flash and RAM connected to it. Charles, that's not correct. Most ESP32 pins will have output disabled on sleep anyway. No. There's a lot of ways of controlling those pins on sleep. And if you do nothing, then you don't know what state they're in. The ESP32 itself does not mess around with the states of pins. You have to control the states of the pins. If you want things, for instance, pulled high or low, and you want them to stay that way in deep sleep, you need to do a pull hold on them to control that. Right, I wouldn't power the AND gate through I/O, but I could power the AND gate through VDD SPI. So for instance, I'm not going to do it, but that could be to there, and that. So when it's asleep, it'll shut that down automatically. I can probably try that. When VDD SPI is off, then the inputs must be 0. Well, so much for me stopping now. Let's have a quick look. So I don't know so what happens on an AND gate if if an input is high, but it's powered down. Right, otherwise they'll conduct to ground. So I'm still going to get so I don't want the user to have to turn IO21 off when it goes into deep sleep. That's why I did this. Catch you later, cable tie. You're going to work? Are you working or are you on holidays? It's a late work start for you, isn't it? Fancy bending, pin 5 on the AND gate up. I don't have to bend it, I could just cut the trace because it's going to this via. So yeah, I can do it. Not have power on the gate input as there are normally diodes. Yeah, this is the problem. I can't. So having the AND gate always powered means that I can leave IO21 high if the user leaves it high, and have VDD SPI low when it goes to sleep, and the AND gate will shut power control down even though the AND gate is still running. That's why I'm using an AND gate, and that's why I'm using this configuration, because I don't have to worry about the state of IO21. Check it happens with every chip in the reel. Okay, there's 3,000 on a reel. That's a lot of chips to test. Just a high Z buffer would be ideal. They don't care about input voltage. Okay, but I don't have... So can you recommend a tiny package high Z buffer for me, Chris? Because I don't have one on hand, or know which one's available. I don't know how much will drain in that state. Power off leakage current. 1 to 10 milliamp. What? Where'd you see 1 to 10 milliamp? Power off leakage current. Microamps. Maybe a dodgy chip. It might be a dodgy chip. I can grab another one. Yep, I'll put another one on. We'll try it. Turn the power off. Get the microscope. So just to be clear. Yep, okay. I'll leave the LDO off. Maybe a MOSFET with IO on the gate and VDD on drain. Possibly. I don't have to put the LDO back. I've proven it's not part of the equation, so I can just leave it off for now. This is a sacrificial board, so I'm okay with leaving it off. Man. Oh, get off, sticky tweezers. Okay. No, I don't want that. It'll reverse the logic, which means I'd have to keep that pin high, which I don't want to do for it to be off. Input leakage is 1/10 of the power off leakage. Where are you reading that? Sorry, I'm just reading while I was waiting for it to cool down. Okay, so this is with a new AND gate. Be funny if it was the AND gate, but I don't think it will be. Catch you later, Alo Mullo. Getting to hold shift. 73 microamps. Yeah, I'm going to let that cycle. So the longer an ESP32 is in deep sleep for, the lower the deep sleep current. That's why I generally like to let it cycle twice. I'm getting 70 now. I was getting 69-ish before, so it just goes pretty hit and miss. But yeah, that's the... So I would say it's not a faulty chip. I would say the specs are not right. Which is interesting. Catch you later, Marius. I know it's late for many of you. My God. 3 hours streams have been going for. So I'm going to try one thing. If I can, I'm going to bodge it and see what happens. I'm going to cut the trace. I'm going to destroy the board. Oh well. I'm going to, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to cut this trace. Whoops, and scratched it. Let's just check that it is actually cut. Let's go to God, that is really bad sound. I know, but just my meter, I'm going to make sure that I've actually cut it, because it'd be really bad if I tried this and okay, the pin is cut. There's something else that's 3.3 volts. Good. So that side, I think that's the trace where I cut it, where it's exposed, but the pin itself is not. Okay, so now we need to bodge wire it. Let's bodge it. I also have to go to sleep. Catch you later, James. Thanks for joining. You all stuck it out really long. Pretty awesome. I need some bodge wire. Oh, what am I going to use? Um, got wire wrapping wire, but it's going to be a little bit difficult, I think, but we'll see how we go. Covers. Bear with me a second, folks. I'm going to do my best to bodge this quickly, if I can. And it's going to be ugly. I'm going to warn you all now, it's going to be quite ugly. I mean, this is really big wire. Really big. But whatever. I need my iron on, and my tip is really big, and that's going to be a problem. But we'll do it. We'll try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? This is really long. Oh, and I dropped it. Need smaller fingers, folks. Need baby fingers. Whoop. It's a long cable, yes it is, but I need to be able to grab it. That's okay. We'll be good. It'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Tell you what can go wrong. Not having my cleaner. Okay. Hey, Cran. Okay. As I said, big soldering iron tip. Oh, I don't want to add paste. I really don't. I can add a blob of paste maybe. I've got to be careful I don't get the side that's exposed. Just can't get in there. It's going to need a lot more. The pins are really small. Sure, I don't have a bigger tip. This is actually not a big tip. I don't have a tiny tip handy, no. I'm gonna have to use some solder. I really don't want to. Really don't want to, because it's not only it's just gonna mix solder. That's why I like ribbon cable strand. Yeah, I'm kind of limited what I've got here at the moment. Sorry. You want me to do this live? You gotta do it with what I got. Oh, come on. I just got something stuck to the end of the tip. And now it's stuck to my tweezers. Ah! And the noise of this microscope ticking in my head. Sorry, it's out of frame. It's the least of my worries right now. I can't even get this on. Yeah, this is just a... Stop it, microscope. Can everyone hear the ticking of it refocusing? Doing my head in, sorry. Stop sticking to my tweezers. Just short it with tweezers while I measure. I could do that. I'll try one more time. Problem is, it makes it hard to do that, especially without... It's all melting. Melting. You... Okay. I'll try shorting it with the tweezers. This is frustrating. Yeah, the board keeps moving. Everything about this is a bad idea. Okay. I'll short it with the tweezers and see what happens. That was frustrating. Sorry. So right now there's no power to it. So we should be getting nothing from it. If all goes well. We should be seeing back down to 30. No, 63. We're still seeing 63. Let's make sure I haven't joined those pads back together again. It's possible I've joined the pads back together. Yeah. Hang on. It's quite possible. Let me just unplug it. Yeah, I did. Okay. Need to cut it again. Oh boy. Okay. Try that again. Okay, yep, it's cut now. Okay. Start sampling. Whack-a-mole. Oh, that didn't like that. Didn't boot properly. Try again. That's better. Stop sampling. Okay, 31. Okay, so question is, can I... Where's my other glasses? I'm gonna need my other glasses to do this. Can't hold steady. I'm hoping I've got it. Let's go wake up again. Okay, stop sampling. Okay, so we've got two. We've got this one here, which is without me doing it, 31, and this one is 31. Assuming that I touched that correctly. What trolls? Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Hey, Shipper, shouldn't have said anything, Jay. So, assuming that I got that, assuming I got it though, let's try again. I really can't see. Switch glasses. Should be touching. If I let go, touch again. Okay, so the question is it working? Do I lose, like, does the AND gate still work? 31. Yep, 6 o'clock in the morning. Catch you later, Kane. Have a good sleep. So the question is is the AND gate now switchable still? That's what I want to know. Like, is it working? So I was basically connecting the power to the AND gate to also the VDD SPI. So technically, the AND gate's being shut down. Now that's with LDO. That's with IO21 low. What happens if we make IO21 high? Let's see what happens if we leave IO21 high, because that might make a difference. I'll turn it on, and then I'll leave it on. LDO output value true. Okay, so if I leave it on, we'll see if that makes a difference to the state. I'm curious to see what will happen if IO21 is high when power to the AND gate is shut down. I think I've got those connected. I think they were just connected. Stop. So I don't even know if the AND gate's working now. I'm assuming it is. Okay. What's that a video of, Jay? Ground in PCB layout, separate or not separate. Oh, yeah, that was a interesting video. Okay, been going for over 3 hours. I've got places to look, for sure. I could do a testboard spin, rewire all of this, put ambient light sensor. I think the plan is to stick the ambient light sensor on LDO2, put VDD SPI to power the gate, as well as being an input, which means it's not really needed. Yeah. And see what happens. I've actually got boards in production right now, so I will make mods. I'll do a test board. There are valid reasons to separate ground planes, but you better understand why. Yeah. Cold coffee again, folks. If poor accuracy is okay, you could use the input pins pull down for the light sensor. Input pin. The input pins pull down for the light sensor. But the input is used to detect what it is through the ADC. Yeah, I saw photochromax. Or it depends what I stick there. But yeah. I don't have a target deep sleep. It's got to go through a divider though. Sorry, I don't understand, Chuz. Anyway, I don't have a target. I'm happy to leave it as it is right now, which is like 85 microamps. I was just curious to see what it was that was taking the extra. But that internal resistor sitting on the wrong side of it. Maybe. I don't know. I saw somewhere that 2225 is possible with the S2 and C code. I don't think so. Like they state in the data sheet that it's 25 is the minimum. So yeah, like I don't see how it could be lower than that. And you can't get. I mean, there's overheads. Like you've got an LDO, you've got other stuff. Like it's impossible to get. Like maybe on the chip itself, Bruce. Aren't what 5 microamps? The lowest deep sleep that the SP32S2 has is 25. When using biasing, ensure the desired low power state is with the bias and use the opposing voltage level when wanting to switch the thing on. So what was that, Jay? What's that for? Sorry, I'm just pulling up a data sheet. So, data sheet, deep sleep. Scrolling. Have I gone too far? Current consumption. Deep sleep. Oh, okay, sorry, 20 microamps without RTC memory. So I guess technically, I mean, you're not going to get 22. I mean, there's other things external to the chip that are going to take power. I mean, you can get lower quiescent current LDOs than what I'm using, but not in the size I need. I don't have room. Well, on the Featherist 2, I could technically stick a SOT23 on there because I've got enough room, but I don't on a tiny Pico. Oh wow, why so much higher? It's not higher than an ESP32. Well, firstly, it's different hardware. Like, it's a different core, got different internals. Like, they're not the same chip. Hang on. But it's not, okay, wrong one. It's not that much higher. Sorry, I'll switch screens in a second. Just looking for it. God, where is it? Can't lose my mind. Where's deep sleep? Conditions, DC characteristics. Am I losing my mind? Deep. If L1 is used to turn on an external device, then I/O output bias resistor would be to L0. Catch you later, Michael. I'm losing my mind. Where's the deep sleep? Gone. Wow. Can everyone see it? No? You don't want to be fighting your bias resistor for low power mode. Right, sure. I understand. Yeah, I did search for deep. Here we go. Yeah, so they claim, for the ESP32, they claim 10 microamps for deep sleep, but you can't get that. And 5 in hibernation. So the lowest I ever measured, if I whipped everything off my tiny Pico, you've actually measured 5 microamps on an ESP32 in deep sleep, have you? How have you done that? I mean, just powering it alone. It's not about lying, it's about... It's like saying my pick and place machine can run at 16,000 components per hour, but the fact is, most boards can't even run close to that, right? So how are you powering your chip when you measured 5 microamps? You must have had nothing else on there. No pull-ups, no pull-downs, no LDO, no anything, right? I mean... Big deal about measuring a chip by itself. A chip by itself doesn't exist on a board anywhere. Meaning, like on a project, like Anyway. So, anyway, yeah. But they're completely different chips. They're different cores. They're different peripherals. They're different, lots of stuff inside. Different PHYs, different all sorts of things. They're not the same chip. Maybe 6 with regulator and PMIC. So 1 microamp from a regulator and PMIC. What LDO are you using that's got 1 microamp? Quiescent current. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, doesn't matter. It's a pointless discussion. The point is they're different. You asked why they're different. They're different chips. And I've never, in a real world situation, including, you know, a tiny Pico that's being powered without the LDO on board and everything else, in RTC timer only, and don't forget that's hibernation, but whatever, I've only ever, or in deep sleep with RTC memory, I've never seen less than 16 or 17 microamps, ever, with basically nothing on the board being powered other than the chip. Yeah, maybe at 2.7 volts. Anyway, doesn't matter. This stream has been going for way too long. Yeah, TR's new buck boost. Yeah, I've seen which one's that one? The 90 nanoamp ones. Sure. Yeah. Not really what you want to be powering. Personally, what you want to be powering a microcontroller with, like especially an ESP32. A little bit noisy in power. You get brownouts potentially. Also extremely expensive. You pick and choose your battles. I don't know. Like I'm not sure what the like. Yeah. Again, getting an ESP32 down to its lowest in a real world product, for a real world project, getting an ESP32 down to its bare minimum deep sleep is inconsequential when everything else on the board that is required for the project is drawing power, more power than going from 20 microamps to 10 microamps, is all I'm saying. And I'm also going, it's 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. Too long for a stream. Thank you all for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Thanks all for your help debugging this. I'll do some experimentation on a board, get something made, and yeah, we'll just see. Like, I don't know if it's worth changing my board. As I said, I'm not unhappy with 85 microamps. I never designed the Feather S2 to be the lowest power microcontroller board out there. That's okay. Maybe I'll save that for my next revision boards. We'll see. But thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. And remember, if you want a Tiny Pico USB-C version, make sure you go on the wait list, because I will not have enough to start with to fulfill what everyone wants. So yeah, if you want one, get on quick. Okay, that's it. Catch you later, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Bye.